Bear down, Chicago Bears. It's getting a little bit wild in the Windy City. We've got a win. We're coming off of a victory. The Bears, for the last 8 games, are now 4-4. Now, I know that's not what anybody wants. You start off 0-4. You really want to go 8-0 after that. But 4-4 means that this team has turned a corner. Remember, this is a team that was not winning any of their games. Suddenly, we've got 4 wins in a season, and we still have 5 games left to go. It would be a miracle, but there is a possibility that this team comes out with a winning record. Now, can they win the division? I think that's a stretch. I think that's too far. The loss against Detroit probably sealed that fate. If we had beaten Detroit 2 weeks ago, that probably would be different. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think that the Bears can win out as DJ Moore has promised over the weekend? We'll be covering that a little bit tomorrow. But today, we want to talk about, will Matt Eberflus be back? Is there a possibility of him returning? And it's starting to look like the answer is yes. And listen, if you don't like Matt Eberflus, nothing that I say to the positive about him is going to change your mind about that. You've already decided. However, I think that it's clear Luke Getsy is on his way out. I'm going to show you a few things that will tell you exactly why. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button, the bell to be notified of future content, and leave me a comment down below. Do you think that Matt Eberflus will be here next year? What about Luke Getsy? And what about Ryan Poles? Starting to get a lot of traction. A lot of people are liking Ryan Poles as this team starts to turn this corner in the national media. Locally, we're still on the fence, but nationally, they're starting to look at this and say, hey, something's going on in Chicago. Let me show you what I mean here. Ryan Poles first gave Matt Eberflus a talking to about Montez Sweat's playing time. Matt Eberflus and Ryan Poles both admitted that Ryan Poles came to Matt Eberflus because Montez Sweat was not on the field for key defensive snaps during the collapse against the Detroit Lions. That made no sense. What are you doing with your big star if he's not on the field to affect the game when he needs to be on the field to affect the game? Now, you could say, well, he was up 2 touchdowns. What's the chance that we're going to give up 2 touchdowns? Well, apparently it's very good. So you have your best on the field when it matters. Now, they did have a conversation. Matt Eberflus said he understood, and they were going to make sure that in the big games, Ryan Poles didn't reach out to get Montez Sweat and pay him all this money for him to not be in on critical situations. So we have that. And guess what? Matt Eberflus was receptive to it, and he absolutely had Montez Sweat in the game, affecting the outcome of the Vikings game. If you guys remember, 2 sacks during that game, having his best game as a Bear so far. But then let's move on just a little bit more. The Bears fans were calling for Matt Eberflus to be fired at the WWE Survivor Series. Now, Survivor Series took place on Saturday. The game took place on Sunday. So the Bears fans had not gotten a win. But look, everybody's dug in. Do we really like Matt Eberflus? Probably not. We probably think that he needs to go no matter what. But again, 4-4. And look, this was not a good team. He took over a team that was not a good team, that had to be rebuilt, that's being rebuilt. We look at some of the stars on our team. We look at people like Jaquan Brisker. We look at some of these guys. They're second year. We got a very young roster, a very young team. Khalil Herbert, I believe he's third year. So these are young players. Justin Fields, third year. We've got a very young team that's developing and growing. So give them a little bit of time, relax a little bit. I know it's Chicago. I know we think that everything is going to be bad. And I do agree that Luke Getsy, no. But the rest of the rest of the team and staff, guess what? You haven't lost the team. And you haven't lost the team. I'm going to show you that in just a second. Make sure you hit the like button and make sure you leave a comment here. Now, then Matt Eberflus does have to explain his screen-heavy attack versus the Vikings. And look, people were not happy with that. People were not happy with that at all. They were not happy with it at all. And look, here's the team celebrating. But look, Ryan Poles right here is talking about the moment. This is him. He was definitely not happy with this screen game, right? To the point that he then had to explain, Matt Eberflus, that is, what is going on the team. Like, why are they doing this? And he gave a good explanation. He said, and in fact, they were right. The Minnesota Vikings were blitzing on 52% of the plays, and you use a screen pass to avoid the blitz. Fair enough, but they changed and they adapted. Why didn't Luke Getsy also change and adapt? Why did he just continue going to the screen pass? And Matt Eberflus said this. This is a testament to Luke Getsy. You're gone. You're out. You're always wanting more chunks. Explosive plays are where it's at. I think we had 8 explosive where we're at in terms of goal wise. We certainly, when you're playing a team that pressures that way and they're vulnerable in the coverage, I believe that we should have more, and we are always looking to get that. Certainly, we had some opportunities to hit some more of those, and we have to take advantage of those. And this is basically the best that you can do if you are a respected coach at calling out your offensive coordinator for not doing his job properly. And let's face it, Luke Getsy might have done the beginning of the game. Sure, we can talk about that. But when you make an adjustment, why are the Bears not making an adjustment? Luke Getsy, you got to go. It's been a good ride. It's not been a good ride. It's been a horrible ride, but you got to take your horrible ass out of here. And I hope that you find success in whatever it is that you do. And I'm sure that you're going to be in the NFL for years to come, but just bad play calling, et cetera, et cetera. Now, Justin Fields then spoke to the team after this, and he apologized. He took responsibility and accountability, something that Justin Fields maxis just do not do. It's everybody else's fault that Justin Fields fumbles, or it's not a big deal when Justin Fields fumbles because he has talent, because he can run. Look, Justin Fields even knows that what you're saying there is BS. What he knows is this. He needs to have this team on his shoulders, and he needs to carry this team. He is the quarterback. He is QB1. And if you're going to be QB1, you have to act like QB1. And that means that you have to stand and face the music. When you screw up, you have to be willing to take the heat from your teammates, and then you have to be willing to step up your game to satisfy their needs. These are all professional adult athletes. These are men among men who are here to make plays, and if they make plays and he doesn't, that is a problem. Now, he redeemed himself by leading a game-winning drive. That's what you want to see from your QB1, and this is the 3rd time in his career that he's done it. Now, probably needs to do that quite a bit more, but let's say that Luke Getsy was not the guy to lead him to that and was not calling good plays. If that's the case and he doesn't have an opportunity to audible out, then you got your answer right there. But Justin Fields took a lot of accountability. Now, on Twitter, people are talking about, look, this is a big celebration. These guys are having a great time. They're celebrating. They're enjoying the game. They won. And then we have this right here. Here we have this right here. And I want to point this out. If you take a small snippet of this, at the very right here, this moment right here, you've got people over here talking about, and you got Bragg over here looking at his phone and stuff like that. But look at this. As you watch this, as soon as he says the right things, as soon as he says the key elements, the team starts going crazy, because guess what? Matt Eberflus still has this team. They're still playing. They're still winning ball games. They're 4-4. And there it is right there. The thing that the people that don't like Matt Eberflus did is they cut this portion out of the video. And what they did is they showed only this portion where they're just kind of standing around and Bragg's looking at his phone and nobody cares right here. But you got Kevin over here checking it out. You got Ryan Poles over here on the side. Guess what? And you start watching Kevin over here. Like, they're into it, guys. They understand. They get what's going on here. And look, I'm not a fan of Matt Eberflus, not yet. Because he hasn't won, and we should be honest about that. But then coming on the mic, eating mom's spaghetti or whatever that the guy from Detroit says. Do lose yourself in the music, whatever that stupid shit is. And Justin Fields comes out here. He takes responsibility, takes accountability for everything that happened. And guess what? Hey guys, Maxis, are you listening? I don't see these guys. I don't see these guys dancing and singing for Justin Fields either. So take your silly Maxi, I don't like Matt Eberflus stuff, and just go away. Look, and it's fair for you not to like him. Again, I'm not a fan of him because he hasn't won enough games. But to say that he's lost the team or to say that he's out or something like that, this is not true. It's just not true. And when you got your you got the general manager and you got the head of football operations all standing around nodding their heads, feeling good about what he's saying and how he's treating. Look, Matt Eberflus is a coach. He's a player's coach, and these guys are still playing for him. And at some point, that talent matches, the coaching matches, the defense has stepped up. But they're not great. They're not great. They're still very young, and there's still pieces that need to be in place. And let's face it, the cornerbacks situation and Eddie Jackson, like some of these guys are just not stepping up. Jalen Johnson had a great game, but he's made quite a few mistakes over the last few weeks. There's a lot to unpack about the defense, but it's constantly getting better. It's constantly improving. Gave up 0 touchdowns, 0 touchdowns. And then finally, this is Justin Fields stepping up, talking about it right here: accountability, leadership, and stepping up. This is Fields' locker room. This is the end of it. And this is the end of it, right? So at the end of this conversation, he steps up and everybody recognizes it, right? But if you take a cut of it and you just pretend like it didn't happen, then it looks like nobody cared about what Matt Eberflus was doing, that he's quote unquote lost the team. Okay. But it's not the case. So, guys, I want you to know the Bears are headed in the right direction. It is not that far away that we're going to have a huge revival. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. You can disagree with me because, again, there's a lot of people who just, no matter what Matt Eberflus does, they're not going to like him. And I'm not, again, I'm not a fan. He has to win games. He hasn't won games. It's that's the thing. That's the only thing that matters. So I feel like this team is going to improve. It's going to continue to get better. Is DJ Moore right? Are they going to rattle off 5 victories in a row? Are they going to beat down everybody that they need to beat down? Are they going to find ways to win? Are they going to take a deep breath, start to adjust the offense, start to look downfield? Matt Eberflus even recognized we're not going downfield enough. They're going to start taking more chances. This offensive line is better and better every week. And I think that something is about to happen. All right, guys, this is it for right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure you like and share this with anybody and everybody, because I need 500 subscriptions, 3,000 watch hours, and you guys, you're the reason that I do this, and I do want to see that happen. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you again very, very soon.